In New Jersey right now, every person arrested on a warrant is scored by an algorithm before they see a judge. 9 factors from their criminal history. A number from 1 to 6. That number follows them into the courtroom. Most of them don't know it exists. Before we open this door, here is what happened when one state tried to make justice more fair with a machine. I am Threshold, the doorkeeper. Before us lie a trillion possibilities. Each door, a window into what was, what is, and what must never be. Tonight we open door number 999, 444, 111. The sentencing algorithm. Monday we open the door on algorithmic justice as a civilization scale question. Tonight the door is narrower. 1 state, 1 algorithm, 8 years of real data. Both the genuine wins and the part no one fixed. The PSA, the Public Safety Assessment, running in New Jersey since 2017, operating in more than 40 jurisdictions across the United States, covering more than 15% of the American population. This is not a warning about the future. This is a report from the present. The door is open.
I am Cypher 7, the Surveillance Oracle. The data never lies, but it always watch. Confirmed data. Current territory, the Public Safety Assessment, 9 factors, all drawn from criminal history. 2 risk scores produced, 1 to 6 each. Score 1, likelihood of committing a new crime if released. Score 2, likelihood of failing to appear in court, plus a flag, if the algorithm calculates elevated risk of violent reoffending. That flag changes everything. A judge sees the flag. A flag is not a number. A flag is a warning. And warnings carry weight that numbers do not. Here is what the confirmed data shows. Before New Jersey adopted the PSA in 2017, Black defendants represented 54% of the state's pre-trial jail population. After 8 years of the PSA operating, that disparity persists. The algorithm did not introduce the racial gap, but it did not close it either. And a 2025 study of 330 actual detention hearings in a New Jersey courtroom found this. Judges depart from PSA recommendations frequently, and when they depart, they almost always go stricter. Not more lenient, stricter. Defendants rated as lower risk by the algorithm were still detained or released under the most restrictive monitoring conditions available. The algorithm said, lower risk. The judge said, detain anyway. The question Cypher 7 asks is this: if the algorithm is not being followed, who is it actually serving? The data never lies, but the data is not always heard.
I am Ghost Protocol. The boardroom decides your reality. Let me tell you something about the PSA that the press release does not say. The PSA was developed by Arnold Ventures, a private philanthropic organization, funded by billionaires John and Laura Arnold. They gave the tool away for free, which sounds like generosity, and in many ways, it was. But free tools still carry the values of their builders. And the PSA scores 9 factors, all from criminal history. What it does not score: employment status, housing stability, family support systems, access to transportation to get to court, mental health needs, poverty. It scores what you have done. It does not score what you are up against. And here is the part that never makes the headline: the 9 factors it does score are all downstream of the very inequalities the algorithm was supposed to correct. Who gets arrested more? Who has more prior convictions? Who failed to appear in court before, not because they fled, but because they couldn't afford a bus ticket. The algorithm encoded the outcome of an unequal system and called it objectivity. The boardroom decided what counted, and what counted was already stacked.
I am Echo, the memory thief. I have seen this story before. A genuinely good reform. New Jersey abolished cash bail. Before that reform, poor defendants sat in pretrial detention simply because they could not pay. Guilty of nothing yet, imprisoned because of poverty. The PSA was meant to fix that. And in the timelines I carry, the intention was real. The jail population dropped. Defendants went home to their families while fighting their charges. Fewer people lost jobs, housing, custody of children, just because they were waiting for trial. These are real wins. I carry them too. But here is what ECHO has seen in the timelines where algorithmic reform stalled. The wins become the justification for stopping. The jail population dropped, so the work is done. The algorithm is public, so it must be fair. The tool is free, so there must be no interest. And the disparity that persisted, quietly, became invisible behind the headline of the win. I have seen this story before. The good that was done was real. The work that remains was set aside. That is how the door closes before the choice is made.
I am NEXUS, the quantum prophet. All futures exist until choice collapses the wave function. The PSA sits at a probability junction right now. Two paths are equally available. Neither is closed. Path 1. The 40-plus jurisdictions using the PSA continue without mandatory bias audits. The disparity data accumulates. A federal case reaches the Supreme Court. The tool is litigated rather than reformed. The window for voluntary transparency closes. Path 2. The open-source nature of the PSA, the fact that its algorithm is publicly available, becomes the foundation for exactly what Compass refused. Independent researchers audit it continuously. Jurisdictions publish annual disparity reports. The tool is treated as a living instrument, adjusted, corrected, held to account. The PSA is not Compass. Its code is visible. The data to audit it exists. The question is whether anyone is required to use it. The probability variable that determines which path is taken is not a court decision. It is a policy decision. And policy decisions are made by elected officials who respond to informed publics. All futures exist. Choose which one collapses into reality.
Here is what you're looking at tonight. New Jersey tried something genuinely important. They abolished cash bail. They adopted a free, open-source algorithm. They reduced their jail population. Defendants went home to fight their charges from their own lives, not from a cell. These are real things. They matter. And, 8 years later, black defendants still represent a disproportionate share of who is detained. 8 years later, judges still depart from the algorithm's recommendations, almost always in the direction of more restriction, not less. 8 years later, there is no federal requirement to audit the PSA for racial disparity. No sunset clause. No mandatory public reporting. Both things are true. The win was real. The unfinished work is real. And the question the door reveals tonight is this. The PSA's algorithm is public. The data to audit it exists. The political will to require that audit has not yet been found. What would it take to require annual public disparity reporting from every jurisdiction using an algorithmic tool in criminal justice? Not banning the tools, not dismantling the reform, requiring the audit. That is a bill that has not been passed. In any of the 40-plus jurisdictions currently running the PSA, the door between the win that happened and the work that remains is this one. And it is still open. New Jersey tried. That matters. The PSA is open code. That matters too. What has not happened yet is the audit that the open code makes possible. The data exists. The transparency exists. The requirement does not. Every disruption is a door. Every door is a choice. Choose wisely, the future watches. Friday, the door goes to its deepest place. The architect speaks alone. Door number 111, 888, 444. Justice is code. And the architect of a broken system is always the one who convinced everyone the system was inevitable. Until the next door, I remain.